It's May, which means it's basically June, which means it's basically July, which means it's Artfight season. You may think it's too early to be preparing for an online battle to the death over OC fan art, but you're horribly underestimating how fast time passes. Believe me, you do not have that much time to set up your profile. That being said, some of you may be wondering, what the hell is Artfight? Let me catch you up. Artfight is an annual event that happens throughout the month of July. You can find more information on the site, but basically the aim of the game is to draw other people's characters for points. There are 2 teams every year, each with their own theme. And your goal is to accumulate as many points as you can for your team before the month ends. After the fight is over, the points are calculated and Artfight announces the winning team. That brings us back to the title of the video. You're doing Artfight wrong. And by you, I mean me. I've been doing Artfight wrong. But I'm perfect, so obviously, if I get something wrong, I need to drag everyone else down with me. But Valentine, who the hell are you? Here are my credentials for making this video. I've done 3 years worth of Artfights, dating back to 2021. But Valentine, it's 2025 right now. The math isn't mathing. I lied to everyone in 2023 saying I was going to participate, but then I didn't draw anything, okay? I guess I have to look at my stats. What are my stats? Hold on, I gotta log in. Bro was not ready to record. Here are my statistics. I have a 27.10% battle ratio, 1,817.5 points, 27 attacks, 2 friendly fires, and oh my god, I got my ass beat every year. I have 23 characters profiled, but for last year my battle stats were... oh. Anyways, yeah. I got my ass beat in 2022 and 2024, but it's okay, we don't have to look at them, like, we're moving on. Because we're focusing on 2025. This is my year, everyone. My year. If you're wondering what teams I joined each year, in 2021, I joined Steampunk, who won. In 2022, I joined Wither. In 2023, I joined Werewolves. I didn't post anything, so technically I don't count for that, but... And in 2024, I joined Stardust. So safe to say, I am pretty qualified for this video. I mean, like, probably not as qualified as other. I mean, like, I've watched other people's videos on Artfight, and they'd be like, "Oh, I've been on Artfight for 6 years." Well, okay, it's not a competition. But if it was, I should win. Although I may not be the most diligent Artfighter, I did pretty well 1 month, so I'm pretty qualified to talk about it. This video is going to highlight my process for preparing my experience on Artfight this year, so feel free to prepare along with me. Section 1. Rules and Regulations. It's important to familiarize yourselves with the website and the rules that come with Artfight. Just like any other event you might participate in, it's a moderated event, and it's part of our responsibility as participants to help ensure this is a safe and enjoyable experience for us and other artists. You can get a more in-depth look at the rules of Artfight on the website by clicking site rules right here, and it's actually pretty easy to navigate the site once you're on it. It's not rocket science, how it works, site rules, attack guide, filters guide, etc. The site is very easy to navigate, but if you're struggling with anything, you can also join the Discord server. If you join the server, I think I joined it ages ago, but now I don't have any space on my Discord server, so low-key awkward. But I'm pretty sure you can ask questions in the server. You'll find a whole community of art fighters who will be willing to help you answer your questions. I'm not going to be reading through all of these rules, mainly because it'll take too long, and I've already done my rule reading time when I started, but I highly advise you read them yourself. Make sure you follow the rules, and make sure you behave. Because honestly, nobody likes rude people, or sexist people, or ableist people, or racist. So yeah, as I was saying before, you'll also be able to find these other information points like how it works and the attack guide. These are super helpful for preparing, and it gives you a general sense of what sort of pieces gather the most points. You'll be able to submit your stuff here, so right now you can only submit characters because the fight hasn't begun. It is May and you are too early. When the fight actually starts, everything can seem really daunting at first. Like, the site doesn't work. Yeah, the site doesn't work. Basically, reading these ahead of time really allows you to get ahead of the game. It can lessen the stress of posting your very first attack. So yeah, that's rules and regulations. Section 2 is admin profile. This is the page where your bio and statistics are presented. You should make information about yourself and your strengths clear so that other people with similar interests may find you easier. My profile is currently a work in progress. for last year. I never finished it. Now you can see why I said I've been doing Artfight wrong. I leave everything until the last minute, and when the fight actually starts, I never upload any new characters or update my profile because I'm too busy getting slapped around by attacks. This was my persona for 2024 because I joined Stardust, so I just took my persona, threw the Stardust logo on it, and then called it a day. And this was drawn by my wonderful friend Cream. Make sure you follow Cream, everyone, and attack their characters. I did have a profile for werewolves versus vampires. I'm pretty sure my boyfriend set it up for me because I was too lazy. Where should we start? I guess we can start by removing everything. Here you can find all your settings for your profile. I've linked my YouTube channel on here, my Instagram. This is really old actually. That's not my Instagram anymore. I've moved accounts. That's also not my Twitter anymore. When looking for spaces and GIFs to decorate my profile, I like to use Tumblr. All I do is type in card resources in the search bar, and you can find a lot of interesting GIFs, dividers, borders, and other type of decor. I usually leave this part until after the Artfight teams are released because I like to be on theme with the team I chose. But I think we can go ahead and get down to some bare bones so then I can do less work later. See, I usually leave this to my boyfriend because I'm like so bad at decorating stuff. Dude, I don't know what I want. Also, I found out that you can click this, maximize. The more you know, guys. We're learning. We're learning together. This is our year. So to add this, I think what we want to do is insert image. Okay. And then if I take this, I take the image address and then I insert it. Oh, that's cute. I also like to look up dividers or like maybe symbols and stuff like that. So we can like copy this. We can choose our fonts. Obviously we gotta go with the best one. Gotta add our name, Valentine. And then we add this. And then obviously we need to go back to the best font of all time. A good thing to add in your profile is if you're participating in this year. So planning to participate. How do you spell participate? Participate. I think that's correct. Obviously you need to have that be in the best font ever. And we can also change our color here. So we're gonna have that in red to show everyone that we mean business. So far looking good, right? Looking cute so far, looking fresh. Maybe we can take something else. Oh my god, can I make that smaller please? How do I make this smaller? Oh, that's so cute. Okay, love that. So if we look on our profile right now, adorable. Adorable. I do need to link my boyfriend though. Alright, so to add a hyperlink, what you want to do, just put this in here, like that. Insert, submit. That should work. Yeah, there we go. You can click that. Goes to my boyfriend's profile. We love to see it. I know a lot of people like to put in their guideline for like if somebody's planning to draw their OC, they want you to kind of keep within global permissions. You can edit your global permissions right here. Character permissions. I've already done mine ages ago. So basically a reminder that the same icon style equals the same story. Please be respectful of my character's personal permissions if they differ from my global permissions. So here I have my yeses and then here I have my no's. Don't whitewash my OCs please, that is really weird. We will get more into character permissions on the next section, but for now let's go back to our user. I like to have these up just to make sure everyone knows that I have been on the winning team 3 times. Because I am an alpha. I've ended up editing it a little bit, so I've like kind of fleshed it out a bit more. I have added my priorities in terms of attacks, and I've also added what I draw, which is helpful for people kind of looking for like a... What was it called? You know in tennis when they like hit a ball and then you hit it back and then you hit it back and then you hit it back and then you, like, what was that called? A rally. If there's artists looking for a rally in terms of attacks, so you keep attacking each other and they want to keep a chain going, it's helpful for them to find artists with similar interests. Got that in there. Also got a stamp of Luffy because I love Luffy. I love you, Luffy. This is just like an idea of what you can put in your bio. It's pretty simple. Just put whatever you want. I'm not your mother. I don't have to tell you what you can put in there. You know, you can even leave it empty. Be mysterious. Moving on to section 3, character profiles. Let's look at my character profiles, everyone. The most crucial part of preparing for Artfight is to prepare your character's profiles and reference images. This is the part I most enjoy setting up because for previous years, I just said because, like, what is this script? For previous years, I like to have my characters clearly grouped by their stories, indicated by their matching icon styles on my profile. For example, these TV icons you can see here, icons are my Color Blast characters, they all come from the same story, and these stained glass style icons are for my Exorcist OCs. You may recognize some of them from my shorts if you've seen my shorts. And these icons are clearly characters I don't care about. I have a couple new characters I want to add to my Artfight profile this year, so let's go ahead and create some references for them, because I'm sure as hell not going to use my old ones. Those are ugly. Since one of the characters I wanted to profile already had a decent reference, I only had to draw 2 new reference pages this year. This one is Marcello and this one is Kingsley. I really don't want to talk about their lore because Loki is really stupid, but I need to find a way to fill the speed page duration, so I guess I have to talk about them. God, how do I explain this? They're both reincarnations of gods that represent a class of magic in the fantasy world I created for a roleplay group. In this world, there are 8 classes of magic: aberration, alteration, animation, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, and phantasm. Marcello here is the reincarnation of divination, and Kingsley is the reincarnation of abjuration. You'll be able to read more about them on their Artfight profiles if you're interested. I'm pretty happy with how they both turned out. However, this was the old reference sheet, so safe to say the bar was pretty low in terms of improvement. All I had to do now is to finish off the reference sheets and add more information and details, and then I can move on to drawing the icons. Here we are on my iPad. I already have an icon because there's already a character on my Artfight profile in this story. His name is Cry. Damn, this looks kind of ugly. So I'm gonna use this as a template. I have no idea where I got this frame from. I guess I just googled frame and was like, yeah, I need these icons to be painterly looking. But the problem is, on Artfight, you can only have like 200 pixels to 200 pixels as their icon. Obviously, trying to get like a super stylized image is not going to be like suitable because you're not going to see any details. But what matters to me the most is that visually you can like look at it and be like, okay, yeah, they're the same style of icon. So that's gonna be the goal for today. I'm gonna get rid of all this sugar. Goodbye, Cry. Hello. I don't want to draw. Let's just okay, let's draw Kingsley because I love drawing women. And there's our 2 icons done. Since they're going to be sized down to 200 x 200 pixels, I've allowed myself to be a little messy with the finish. Now we can move to the best part of all. Writing! Since I'm all about that work smarter, not a harder life, I'm going to use one of my previous profiles as a base. This is a good example as it has the most important information such as name, age, and height. I also like to include a little bit of information about the character so that if an artist does decide they want to draw my character, they have a bit of writing they can take inspiration from, if they want to. In some of my other profiles, I also include some associations with the character. So usually when I include my character's themes and motifs, it provides extra possible imagery as it helps inspire creative minds. So I'm going to just use past me as a reference. Oh god, this is so embarrassing, nah. Okay, I think I went a little bit overboard. I don't really care though. I mostly copied and pasted this from my Discord server. When I say Discord server, I mean like my personal Discord server where I just shove all my OC stuff in there and use it as a storage room. I'm just gonna skip this to when I've finished both of them, and then you can see. You'll just see it, alright? You'll see the vision. You'll see it. Transition. Alright, so as you can see, I am now done. I have Marcello here, and I also have Kingsley here. If I go into the profile, you'll see I did take out a little bit. I took out his personality because I was like, this is too much. I might put it in again, just like maybe a little one-liner just to say, oh, he's like this and this. And then I also linked Kingsley's profile to him because they're basically siblings. They are siblings. What am I saying? They are siblings. And I've also included my friend's OC's because they are certainly connected. They are siblings. I think I'm going to include a little tidbit about like power and like the story of power in character permissions. This section called permissions, this is where you go when you want to edit your permissions. What happened to my screen? Okay, I guess it's just like permanently broken. Anyways. So there we go, I have included a little bit extra information in the character permissions. You also want to make sure to include any specific instructions. That is my finished character profile for my 2 characters. Good work, guys. Awesome. What the hell? Quick note before we move on to the next section. I do recommend actually posting new character references closer to the day of Artfight, as artists are more likely to be active or on the site. This increases the likelihood of someone picking up your reference from the new characters tab, or I think it's called recent characters tab, and saving them for the event. And that's all there is for character references. So now we're on to section 4, bookmarking characters. So let's say you find a character that you want to save the reference of. Here's what I recommend you do. You bookmark the character here. You can like add whatever. You can, oh my god, you can do folders? I didn't even know. And now you might be wondering, what else is there to do, Valentine? Before the event starts, what I recommend you do is actually save the references. Because when Artfight starts, in my experience at least, as you may know from the beginning of the video, the site sometimes is a bit slow. To make a note of the name and to save this number right here, the character's ID. This is very important for when you're posting a tag. And also make a note of the user as well. And that's really all there is to do. Everyone attack my boyfriend, by the way. Keep in mind, in the rules, there is a section about good faith. Don't start making attacks ahead of time, because that's kind of cheating. In my opinion, the game is more fun when you make art within the time limit that's been given to you, so step up to the challenge and see how far you can go. Before I close this off, I want to say thank you if you got this far into the video. This is my first long form video about art, and depending on how this one goes, I want to see if maybe it'll be worth making more in the future. Comment your own tips and experience on Artfight down below because I'd love to read about it. Now, I know there was a lot of controversy around Artfight last year. In particular, the attitude of participants and the culture of expecting revenge or specifically targeting artists with the sole intention of wanting art back. I just want to comment on how unfun that sounds. Like, bro, there are so many interesting characters and designs out there. Why are you sleeping on them? Remember, this event is hosted for fun. Please don't overwork yourself. It's Artfight, not Burnout Simulator. Work at your own pace and I promise you'll have a satisfying experience. Focus on you and what you can give. This might be a bit anticlimactic, but that is my video on how I have prepared for Artfight this year. Yes, I know, 2 whole characters. That, whoa. I hope maybe someone finds this a little bit helpful. I know there's like a lot of Artfight tutorials out there already, so kind of an unneeded 2 cents into the pool, but you know, yeah, it's there. I had fun making this, and even if you already knew all the tips and tricks I'm apparently giving, I hope you at least had fun preparing along with me. That's it, yep, peace.
Raph, you alright, bro?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you don't deserve to be!